Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod, and congratulations to all my Bitcoiners. 100% of you are in profit as Bitcoin reached price discovery mode a few minutes before going live, surpassing $69,000, a big historic day for all Bitcoiners. Let's freaking go. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, and Michael Saylor discovered the fiat money glitch and appears to be determined to fully exploit it. I'll be breaking down his strategic playbook and quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, perpetual motion machine, a speculative attack, the death of fiat money, and central banks, death of the nation state. Hashtag Bitcoin. Also in today's show, Bitcoin market cap reaches a new high, surpassing silver. Take that, precious metals. Also in today's show, Bitcoin just had its best day ever, is $100,000 programmed in. We'll be discussing this, as well as the latest with the Bitcoin ETF inflows hitting 562 million as we reach new all-time highs. Also, the latest from on-chain analyst Willy says Bitcoin to break $125,000 minimum before the end of 2025 as the full demand unleashed. I'll be sharing what this means, as well as his latest timeline. We'll also be discussing a physicist explaining how his power law model got to $10 million Bitcoin by this specific date, which would mean the Bitcoin price increasing 6,300%. Let's freaking go. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome, crypto family. Another unprecedented day, historic day, March 5th, we reclaim price discovery mode. As soon as we surpassed 69,000, yeah, we had a little correction, but that's to be anticipated. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. If you're new to the channel, be sure to smash the subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every day, just like this. Also important to smash the like. It helps out tremendously with the algorithm, and by pumping the likes, you get to help pump the stream, get more eyeballs on the show. Greatly appreciate that. Today is pod episode 1570. I'm your host, JV. A historic day that will be remembered forever for all Bitcoiners. March 5th, 2024, Bitcoin recaptured price discovery mode. It's been a long time since that November 10th, 2021 all-time high, but we recaptured it today. We entered price discovery. We started correcting immediately after, hence the price action right now on your screen. Now, let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. Bitcoin now down 0.8%, trading at roughly 66,000 at the time of the live stream. Ether still up roughly 5%. It tapped 3,700. XRP Cardano pulling back, while Solana, ETC, OP, and ICP are breaking out and in the green. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're sitting at a 2.54 trillion market cap with roughly 200 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance at 52.5%, with the Ether dominance just shy of 18% even. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got ZEC, Theta, and Starknet. Below that, Optimism, Terra, and ICP. Which altcoins in particular are you guys most bullish on for this bull run? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective of the market on the day. Virtually everything was in the green, but now that Bitcoin has corrected, all the alts are correcting heavily. We have Pepe, Bonk, Whiff, Floki, and all those meme coins now down substantially. And zooming out on the monthly to get a broader perspective, let's not forget, when in doubt, just zoom out. Pepe still up 600% on the week. Whiff 400%. Ajax 200%. Jasmy 300%. Floki 300%. Bonk almost 200%. Sheeb 244%. Massive gainers across the board. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, the highest we have seen this in years. We're now at 90 in extreme greed, so a correction is healthy at this stage. That's why we cover the Crypto Greed and Fear Index each and every day. When we're in extreme greed, we're most likely going to have a correction, and vice versa. And checking out the Bitcoin halving countdown, only 44 more days until the most important event that occurs in the crypto sphere every 4 years. So let's freaking go. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to be by the time of the next halving? I'll let you, boy. But anyways, let's check out some of the charts, the Bitcoin price action, and see where we're likely to go next from here. The headline reads, Bitcoin traders dismiss the triple top as Bitcoin price stops 150 from 69. But guess what? We actually tapped 69,200 over on Coinbase. Quick shout out to Eye of the Beholder. He just basically became a HODL Gang member for the next 3 months. Thank you for supporting the show, family. Shout out to Eye of the Beholder. And he wrote, Bitcoin about to pump our brains out. Amen to that. Long live the King family. So here we go. Bitcoin hit the new all-time high here not too long before going live on the stream. Here you're looking at the 1 hour chart before the correction. Trading views showed Bitcoin hitting roughly 69.2. Despite daily gains of 5,000, the psychological importance of the highs became immediately evident, and the bulls were unable to push through. Well, we did push through, FYI, but then we immediately corrected. Hours later, flash volatility saw Bitcoin drop 2,000 in 3 minutes, an event that disposed of around 20 million in long positions as per CoinGlass. Now, this in turn made a decent record high open interest, which nonetheless quickly rebounded to circle $31 billion. Now, in a grim repetition of events from a week ago, one that was even predicted by some, the largest U.S. exchange, Coinbase suffered another outage, not today, but yesterday and the day previously. And in my opinion, I think we would have blew right past 70,000 if Coinbase didn't have the so-called outage. What are your thoughts on that? Now, quoting Crypto Slate here, the 2021 Bitcoin bull run dwarfs this bull run in terms of leverage. That's right, 100%. Van Straten suggests that Coinbase had the technical ability to handle the load and that other factors were at play behind the scenes. Let me know if you agree with that, family. Could it have been a chairman of the SEC controlling things? What are your thoughts? We have issued a fix which remediated the display issue impacting customer account balances and latency across Coinbase, it stated. So not only did it become impossible to trade or sell, whatever, buy on Coinbase, but at the same time, everyone's balances was going to zero, freaking out all the Coinbase customers. That's not a good look. That's a way to engineer FUD, in my opinion. Now, discussing whether Bitcoin can break through the final hurdle, we already did. That's the good news. Will we see a triple top, though? Trader Callio likened the mood to the 2020 breakout, which crushed old $20,000 all-time highs in place since 2017. Quoting him here, this pump has the same feel as December of 2020 when Bitcoin was approaching all-time highs at 20 Gs and didn't look back after it broke above it. And another trader, Jelly, shrugged off the idea that 69,000 would stay in place and a mark of a triple top pattern for Bitcoin, as he shares here. Yes, as you can see, we have a clear triple top and zero is next. They won't trap me. Now, quoting him again, get on the program. This market is going higher. Now I want to point something out which was recently shared right here. Saylor has discovered the fiat money glitch and appears to be determined to fully exploit it. Here's his strategic playbook. Number one, issue convertible senior notes denominated in US dollar, a currency that by design is losing value over time. And FYI, if you missed the memo, MicroStrategy announced converting some whatever they do and purchasing another 600 million plus worth of Bitcoin, which is a big deal. So this is the playbook they're using to do that. Number two, buy the scarcest asset in the world. Number three, wait for the US dollar to lose value against Bitcoin, leading to a surge in company valuation. Number four, issue more convertible senior notes. Number five, rinse and repeat. And as a point of reference, MicroStrategy has surged 23% today alone. This was yesterday, boasting a year-to-date increase of 92.6% and a staggering 435% growth over the past year. MicroStrategy is currently sitting on 193,000 Bitcoin, and Saylor himself owns at least 17,733 Bitcoin. And as I mentioned earlier, they just announced purchasing another 600 million worth of BTC. Saylor has efficiently initiated a bank run, not a commercial banks, but on the central bank. So gangster. For now, that is not an issue. No other large company has copied its strategy thus far, but shareholders and companies certainly are noticing the stock performance of MicroStrategy. Now, Max Kaiser retweeted it and wrote, perpetual motion machine, a speculative attack, the death of fiat money and central banks, death of the nation state, hashtag Bitcoin. That's right, family, because Bitcoin separates money from the state, hence kills the central banking cartels. Let's go. Now, Samson Mao tweeted, now 0.1 million before the halving. Send it. And let's get it. Let's dive into our next story of the day, shall we? Headline reads, Bitcoin market cap reaches a new high, briefly surpassing silver. Let's go. Bitcoin's market cap reached a new all-time high of 1.35 trillion today, March 5th, another historic day, family. So Bitcoin price rose 3.35% leading up, 24 hours lead up to 12:55 p.m. UTC to trade at 67. And that's when we ultimately peaked out here for the market cap. And following the new high, Bitcoin became the 8th largest asset in the world after the market cap briefly overtook the 1.347 trillion market cap of silver. Take that. The second largest precious metal in the world. The surge came a day before Bitcoin recorded its highest daily close of 68,245 yesterday, March 4th, beating the previous record close of 67,500 November 8th, 2021, bolstering analyst expectations that the price can reach 100,000 before the end of this year in 2024. In fact, we have some bullish fan members here in the live chat who are calling for 100,000 within the next 45 days leading up to the Bitcoin halving, as well as Adam Back. He predicts the same. The recently approved spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US have been a major reason behind the Bitcoin bullish price action, according to a March 4th research report by Bitfinex. Quoting them here, February witnessed an impressive 44% surge. That's right, we climbed 20 Gs last month, family, reflecting a notable positive momentum since December of 2020. The 7.5 billion influx into the Bitcoin ETFs not only drives the market growth, but also signals a positive outlook and potential for the continued capital inflow. Let's go. And according to the analysts at Bitfinex, open interest on centralized exchanges for Bitcoin futures also saw record highs, reflecting robust investor confidence and a sustained rally. Quoting their analysis here, the recent spike in open interest has surpassed the level seen November of 2021 when Bitcoin hit the all-time high of nearly 69,000. On Friday, March 1st, the total open interest for Bitcoin futures contracts soared above 26 billion, surpassing the previous record set in the last quarter of 2021 of 24 billion. And as you can see here, the open interest charts, the new all-time high comes a day after the largest corporate Bitcoin holder, MicroStrategy, announced it'll raise $600 million as part of its plans to buy more BTC. Music to my ears. The funds will be issued in the form of senior convertible notes, according to a March 4th post by the executive chairman, the one and only Giga Chad, Michael Saylor, man. Look at that. Another 600 million worth of biddies. You're damn right. Saylor's going to continue buying the top of Bitcoin through infinity. But let's dive into our next story of the day, family. Best day ever. Let's go. Headline reads, Bitcoin just had its best day ever. Is 100,000 Bitcoin price programmed? Well, let's break this down and let's dive right in right here. ETFs can drive the Bitcoin price above 100,000 by the end of this year. If you agree with that sentiment, 100,000 milestone in 2024, put a 1 in the live chat. If you think not, then put a 2, and we'll gauge the sentiment and the consensus here of our audience. The new price agnostic demand introduced by the US BTC ETFs will help the world's largest crypto breach the previous all-time high. In fact, we already did, but nonetheless, our analysis forecasts a conservative price objective of 100 to 120,000 to be achieved by the fourth quarter of 2024, and the cycle peak to be achieved sometime in 2025 in terms of total crypto market capitalization. And look, you can see in the chat blowing up with ones, 111, happy birthdays, 111, 111, 11, keep the ones a-flowing. So you already know. I love the bullishness here in the channel. So yeah, Bitcoin rose 3% in the 24 hours to trade at 66.8. But as of this morning, right before going live, we tapped 69.2 on Coinbase, which is the new all-time high in Bitcoin history, meaning price discovery is here, family, the long awaited. And while the Bitcoin price typically consolidates immediately after the quadrennial halving events, its best performance comes the following year, which we all know, which could help Bitcoin breach above the 100,000 mark, according to senior analyst at K33 Research, quoting him here, based purely on the data from the past performance and diminishing impact of the halving rallies, Bitcoin can see 130 to 150% rally in the following year following the halving, which would lead to a peak in the range of 125 to 150,000 per Bitcoin in 2025. Now, Bitcoin's bullish price action comes the day after the largest corporate Bitcoin holder, as I mentioned earlier, MicroStrategy, announced raising another $600 million to buy more BTC. So you already know Saylor's the man. And also, most popular Bitcoin analysts are optimistic about Bitcoin in the near term. On March 1st, synonymous quantitative analyst Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model, predicted the Bitcoin bull market is only starting with 10 months more of face-melting FOMO ahead. And in yesterday's show and the previous day's show, we uncovered that stock to flow latest chart showing Bitcoin printing the first bull red dot, which means Bitcoin is officially in a bull market as of March 1st, according to the stock to flow. Furthermore, Willy Woo, shout out Willy Woo, Bitcoin analyst and managing partner of CMCC Crest, said that the current rally is just a warm up. You're ready to go. And that the full fundamental driven bull market hasn't even begun. Sharing his tweet here. So you think we're in a bull market? We're not. This is the warm up. A full fundamentals driven bull market is marked by a break of the upper blue band. When it breaks, TradeFi is in for a shock. Let's freaking go. And as I mentioned earlier, the crypto greed and fear index, let's pull it up. We're at 90. This is the highest we have seen this in a very, very long time, family. The last time the index was at 90 or above was February of 2021. So that's like over 3 years ago. So additionally, the Bitcoin price could still see a retracement to below 44,000 during this year, according to another analyst, Dave the Wave, quoting him here. Though I am comfortable with an intermediate future and where we are currently at technically, and potentially a pivotal point with resistance at the previous all-time highs. The previous or default option has to be to stick with the continued parabolic move until at least the bold dotted line is broken. So Bitcoin's high funding rate also bolsters the possibility of a potential correction, and hence we're having a correction right now after we tap 69.2, signaling heavy leverage use that could eventually lead to cascading liquidations. Bitcoin's funding rate on Binance has reached a multi-year high of 0.0995 according to the latest data from CoinGlass. So there you have it. Your thoughts again, 100 G's this year in 2024. Holla at your boy. Lo and behold, talking about giving, Corey just gifted 5 memberships of the MicroStrategy membership to the channel, to the following. Chris Garcia, you've been blessed. Salam Sarazi, you've been blessed. 100K Leverage and Flow Seeker and CS. Congratulations. Please thank Corey M for blessing you guys. And thank you, Corey. That's very kind of you. Next story of the day, we discussed the best day ever. We just hit the price discovery all-time high here. Long time coming. Now let's discuss the Bitcoin ETF with the inflows. Then we'll break down some bullish targets for you guys, followed by some live Q&A. If you're just joining the stream, pump the likes and pump the stream and let's get it. US-based spot Bitcoin ETF saw a net inflow of 562 milli yesterday, March 4th, as the price breached 68 G's, baby. And of course, this morning we already tapped 69, a historic day in the books. The March 4th inflow came despite outflows from multiple smaller players such as GBTC. They saw 368 mil in outflows on the day. Also, BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust recorded the largest inflows of 420 million. You can't make this ish up. Happy 420, family. Followed by Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin Trust at 404 million. The net inflows into the spot ETFs on the day were 10 times the amount of new Bitcoin added to the supply through mining activities. So just for some perspective, there's roughly 900 Bitcoin being mined daily to the miners. That means there's over 10,000 Bitcoin inflows coming into the ETFs. Can you say supply shock, especially with a Bitcoin halving 45 days out? The spot Bitcoin ETF trading volume peaked at 5.5 billion, as you can see in this chart, in total yesterday, March 4th, making it the second highest volume day since the product's launched on January 11th. The high trading volume and institutional demand means spot Bitcoin ETFs and trackers now handle around 1 million BTC. That's right. I know Coinbase is currently a custodian of over 1 million Bitcoin because they're the custodian for BlackRock and GBTC, etc., which is roughly 5% of the total Bitcoin circulating supply. And of that 1 million Bitcoin, nearly 83% is managed by US-based spot and futures ETFs, according to the report published by K33 Research. research. Quick shout out to Devon Short. I greatly appreciate you supporting the channel by joining the HODL Gang. HODL Gang, HODL Gang. Let's freaking go. In the 2 months since their launch, spot Bitcoin ETFs have seen net inflows of $7.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, despite over $9 billion worth of outflows. The BlackRock IBIT had already reached $10 billion in assets under management. Now, in contrast, gold ETFs took nearly 2 years to reach that figure. Let that sink in. Here it shows you a comparison between Bitcoin and gold, cumulative sum of Bitcoin and gold ETP, which are exchange traded product flows. Now, Bitcoin ETFs might see increased demand in the coming days, I think most likely, with BlackRock filing to purchase Bitcoin for a strategic income opportunity fund, with the Bitcoin halving scheduled to take place in April, roughly 45 days out, and the daily supply of the new Bitcoin will be reduced by half, despite a current market demand already exceeding new supply by 10x, which could act as a catalyst for further Bitcoin price appreciation. Send it. Let's get it. That's right. Let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think the volume is likely to keep up at this pace? Do you think it'll increase like a snowball effect? I saw the volume this morning of BlackRock. It's already through the roof. Insane. But anyways, fam, we still got a lot to cover. So let's dive into our next story of the day. We discussed the latest with the ETFs. Now let's discuss this $125,000 target, followed by the $10 million price prediction as per this new model I want to share with you. And then we'll dive into our live Q&A. That's right. And welcome everyone joining the stream. Pump the likes, pump the stream. Much appreciated. Willy Woo says Bitcoin to break 125 G's, baby, minimum before the end of 2025. As full demand is unleashed, here's what demand means. On-chain analyst Willy Woo says Bitcoin can hit 125 G's to mark the minimum this year if financial giants BlackRock and Fidelity allocate relatively conservative amounts of capital. Woo tells his 1 million followers on X that if the clients of the two firms decide to rotate 3% of their assets into Bitcoin, Bitcoin can easily hit 2.5 trillion market cap. Let's go. Quoting him here, the Bitcoin price will go past 125,000 minimum before the end of 2025, just from BlackRock and Fidelity clients if they rotate 3% exposure to Bitcoin. Now, what if they did 6%, family? Double that number to 250 G's. Let's go. There are the most optimistic portfolio right here. These are the allocation recommendations. BlackRock, 84.9%. That's right. Keep in mind, family, BlackRock published a report, I think it was a couple of years ago, in their strategic recommended Bitcoin allocation of a portfolio, and it was 84.9%. I know this for fact because I covered it numerous times here on the show. So let that sink in. If they actually did that, whoa, you know what I mean? And Fidelity, 3%. Would be 4.2 trillion. With BlackRock, that's 9.1 trillion. Recently, Fidelity's Canadian subsidiary revealed 1 to 3% allocation to crypto assets in its Fidelity all-in-one conservative ETF, which currently has just under 200 million in net assets under management. Also, the Bitwise CIO, Matt Hugin, commented on the ETF, sharing the following. Fidelity has 1 to 3% Bitcoin allocation in their all-in-one asset allocation funds in Canada using spot Bitcoin ETFs. The conservative version is posted right here. And when this becomes the norm for portfolios in the US, wowzer, Scoob. And as you can see here, the Fidelity all-in-one conservative ETF allocation to underlying funds and percentages, cryptocurrencies, 1%. And now, where do they have gold on here? Do you see gold? Global equities, 1%. I don't even see gold recommended. Interesting. And according to Woo, the 125,000 Bitcoin price target is still conservative, given that Fidelity and BlackRock's assets are still only a small portion of the available global wealth. Quoting him again, very conservative as it's only 13.3 trillion of global wealth accounted for. Keep it in mind, there's over 500 trillion out there. Presumably, quite a bit of this comes on because of this validation from the largest asset managers. So what are your thoughts? A very conservative, calm and collectively 125 G's for this cycle top. Holla at your boy. And that's just based on BlackRock and Fidelity allocating only 3% of their assets under management into Bitcoin. We'll probably be back doing another pump watch this evening. Just FYI, we did an 11-hour pump watch to usher in 74. We didn't hit the target, but we at least hit 69 here this morning, family. 69.2, the new all-time high. Price discovery mode. Let's go. But anyways, family, now let's dive into our feature story of the day and discuss a physicist explaining how his power law model got to $10 million Bitcoin by this particular date. We're going to be breaking this down live and in the flesh. 6,300% gains. Send it. Now, I'm also going to tell you why this is bearish, in my opinion. Stay tuned. Former physics professor Giovanni Whoa, it almost sounds like Satoshi. Santostasi has shed new light on his power law model for predicting the price of BTC, which arrived at a prediction of a humble 10 million per individual Bitcoin by the year 2045. Why is that conservative? Here's why. Because Fidelity, one of the largest asset managers, they control $4.5 trillion in assets under management. Their head of macro, Jurian Timmer, has already predicted $1 billion Bitcoin price by the year 2038. So 10 million by 2045, bearish. Just saying. A power law is a mathematical relationship where one value is proportional to the fixed power of another value. So I've never even heard of the power law model. So this is very interesting for me to learn about and share with you guys. What are your thoughts? The power law has been observed throughout a wide range of naturally occurring phenomena, from a frequency of earthquakes to the dynamics of stock market changes. Now, this analyst first shared the power law model in the Reddit Bitcoin subreddit in 2018. Wow, that's quite a while ago. However, it witnessed a resurgence in January after finance YouTuber Andre Jek mentioned it in his video to his 2.3 million subs. Now, the analyst said the model predicted the Bitcoin could peak and reach 210,000 in January of 2026 and then fall as low as 60,000 afterward. And in a March 2nd discussion with the mathematician and Bitcoin investor Fred Krueger, he said the power law model displays a more easily understood and predictable model of the Bitcoin price action over the longer periods. Quoting the analyst Fred Krueger from Elm Street. First cut from my 90-minute deep dive with Giovanni. This is the chart that you can't unsee. Non-intuitive aspects of the power law in the next 15 years of Bitcoin. We expect the price to go up, not by 2, but by 64. Can you say 64x? Send it, family. Now, in contrast, the majority of the short-term Bitcoin price charts used in the mainstream media tend to show a messy and inaccurate view of the Bitcoin price action. Quoting them here, the linear chart that they usually show in TV, what Jim Cramer is talking about, looks messy. Inverse that, Cramer. He's a joke, family. Anyways, but when do you use the log or the y-axis, you start to see some regularity there. It doesn't look that messy. It looks like a very nice pattern. Now, he also said that unlike the now widely criticized stock-to-flow model, the power law is logarithmic instead of exponential. This means Bitcoin's price doesn't have to increase constantly over time, and significantly fluctuations in price witnessed most recently between 2020 and 2023 and can still be accounted for under the model. And in a follow-up post on X March 3rd, Krueger outlined further mathematical modeling and the power law when applied to BTC, which predicted that Bitcoin would reach a price target of $100,000 within the next 2 years. Again, this is pretty conservative and bearish. In JV's humble opinion, I think we could hit 100,000 here within the next couple of months. What are your thoughts, family? But quoting him here from X, hyper-Bitcoinization timeline and the meaning of 5.8. I've done a lot of thinking over the past 24 hours on the meaning of power laws and the implication for the future Bitcoin price actions. And if you scroll all the way down this model, it shows just by the year 2045, surpassing that 10 million milestone. Krueger added that if Bitcoin adheres to the power law model, its market cap will overtake that of gold by the year 2033, at which point Bitcoin would be worth $1 million per coin. JV is more bullish than that. I believe by the year 2029, we're likely to have a $1 million Bitcoin price action and overtake gold also before that. Now, he also mentioned with Krueger's belief in the power law model, saying critics say that any mathematical model can be prone to substantial errors and does not account for random events that have or could have a serious impact on the Bitcoin price action. So what are your thoughts on this very bearish Bitcoin price prediction of $10 million per coin by the year 2045, family? Here's some more of my thoughts. Clearly, JV is always bullish. I mean, I take pride in saying that Crypto News Alerts is the most bullish YouTube channel there is. We have been bullish every single day throughout the bear market. Regardless, check the receipts. There's now probably over 2,000 videos here on this channel. So yeah, JV feels we're gonna, now that we tap price discovery mode here ahead of time before the halving, $100,000 is in play. 100,000 this year, in my opinion, is inevitable. My bullish scenario would be along the lines of what Jennifer's been predicting every day. We can hit 100,000 leading into the halving in the next 45 days. Anything is possible. Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom. Here's one thing I know for certain. The purchasing power of Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to increase. The purchasing power of the dollar is mathematically guaranteed to decrease because they're going to continue printing more and more money. What does that tell us? Bitcoin is going to continue eating everything like the apex predator it is, and all fiat currencies will collectively go to 99.9%, eventually go to zero against Bitcoin, right? Meaning Bitcoin's going to eat it out 99.9% till it's virtually worthless, right? And right now, Bitcoin has overtaken over 30 fiat Ponzi monopoly currencies just recently, which I've covered, which Balaji, the former chief technology officer of Coinbase, pointed out. So Bitcoin hit a new all-time high versus the euro, the Australian dollar. I think it touched like 105,000 against the Chinese yuan. I don't know Japanese yen. I meant the Chinese yuan. So yeah, Bitcoin's going to continue to do its thing. I feel Cathie Wood's target of 1 million, in which she has reiterated could be 1.5 or even as high as 2.3 million by 2030. I think we most likely hit that in 2029 if the 4-year cyclical cycles remain intact, because we've had 3 halvings thus far. And congratulations, whoever just subbed, iJan. I appreciate the support. So yeah, we've had 3 halvings thus far. The first halving was 2012. We hit a parabolic cycle peak in 2013. Then, like deja vu, 2016 halving, 2017, we hit the cycle peak of 20,000. And then in 2020, we had the third halving, in which we hit the cycle peak the following year on November 10th of 2021 of 69,000. And so if history is to rhyme, I think we can hit in 2029 a million, potentially multi-million, depending upon the strength of the dollar. Will the dollar still exist in the next 5 years? What are your thoughts, family? And where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next? Holla at your boy.